this is Migueltio, the North Korean Latino, and today, well, it's summer. A beautiful summer day. A hot summer day. You know, the weather reports, they talk about the 3 H's. Hazy, hot, and humid. Well, I got one more. 4 H's. Hazy, hot, humid, and helado. Which, of course, starts with an H, even though it's a Spanish word, which is, of course, ice cream. Who doesn't want ice cream when it's hazy, hot, and humid out? So we got hazy, hot, and humid, and helado. Now, I'm continuing my quest for finding the ultimate ice cream. Because here I have the ultimate ice cream book. And in past episodes, and past years, before I do the episodes, I was trying to find, and I've yet to find, which one in this book is the ultimate ice cream. It's got to be in here, right? You know, if it's going to be called the ultimate ice cream, then one of these recipes must be the ultimate ice cream. So I've gone through a few. I've done the mangoes, you know, no surprise there. I've done chocolate ones. There's different ones in here. I haven't done all the chocolate ones. Well, today I'm going to set my sights on a different kind of ice cream. Would you believe prune ice cream? I know. Ew, prunes. You know, that's for constipation and bloating. My God, it sounds like an Activia commercial. No. Prunes, when they're sweetened, if you've ever had any of the desserts that have prune, people have prune danishes. I've made that banana recipe, that plantain recipe back in Navidad, which of course they use a lot of prunes with filling and stuff like that. Prunes, when sweet, are very good. It's kind of like having orange marmalade, you know. Some people don't like that. They think of oranges, they don't think of that kind of sweetness, but prunes can be done very sweetly. It's not like prune juice, you know. I mean, prune juice has its purpose and its taste, but this is different when you actually sweeten them and put them in a dessert. So we're going to make prune ice cream today, the quest for the ultimate ice cream on Migueltio, the North Korean Latino. So we start with 12 little dried prunes, and I think I had these left over from when I made that stuff back at Christmas. I mean, you get a thing of this, you know, you use some prunes, there's going to be a lot of prunes left. You don't cook with too many prunes, I'll admit that. So you take 12 of these babies out of the jar. Slice them up with a knife like this. Okay? They're like giant raisins, they really are. Put them in a pan of water. And I'm going to set them to boil. A lot of Spanish recipes for desserts. Spain, Spanish, okay? Use prunes. And of course, the platano recipe I used back in Navidad. Use prunes, that was Latin, so there's a lot of prune cooking in Latino culture. One way or the other. Either European Latino, Spanish, or Latin American. It's one of those things where it's like a different kind of dessert than you get out at Applebee's on a Friday night, you know what I'm saying? I mean, it maybe is the ultimate ice cream that's in the book, so it could be the winner. We've yet to find it, so maybe this is the one. Kind of like last year when they said, this is going to be the one, American Pharaoh. Finally win the Triple Crown. And lo and behold, happened. But maybe this is it. You never know. Or it'll go on and on and on until I do every single ice cream in that book. But today, it's going to be prune ice cream. So I got these prunes all cut up, doing that down here. And it doesn't matter how big you cut them. You know, like this one here, I've been halving them, putting them in the pot. And all you need is enough water to cover. Set it to boil. And then you let it sit for an hour after it's boiled to begin the whole process of pruning the prunes. Okay, so we're back later. And you can let your prunes just soften for only an hour, and we let it go for a little while here, so they're going to be nice and soft for dealing with a little later. So, the next step is take a bowl and put 3 eggs in it and beat them. You don't have to get a hand mixer out for this. Just one of these little egg beaters. Get them all nice and soft. And in with those eggs, you're going to put a cup of sugar. And you're going to beat that until it's kind of like that creamy yellow, well blended, etc., etc. Whenever you make anything with eggs and sugar, you get that kind of off yellow, cross between yellow and orange. And voila, there they are. And add in with it a tablespoon of flour. There it goes, solamente uno. That kind of dulls the color a little bit too. And set that aside. Now, focus on my saucepan over there in the corner. In it, you're going to put some half and half, 1.5 cups to be exact. Okay? Got your half and half. 1 cup. And it goes over there. And half more. Turn it on, you're going to boil it. Isn't that amazing? So you've got the heat on. And then eventually you're going to put that in with the eggs. Okay, we are boiling hot. So you're going to take it right off the fire, put it in that bowl with the egg mixture. Whisk that together. And don't worry, it's not going to spend much time there, because guess what? After you've whisked it all together, where's it going? Right back in the pot. Well mixed, well blended. Put your side, because you're going to use that again. You're going to use that little hand mixer again. Put it right back over that. Turn your heat back on. Shouldn't have cooled down that much. And you're going to whisk that constantly over that heat so that it does not start sticking, but also get it off when it starts to thicken, because you don't want it to thicken too much, because guess what? If you do that, your eggs are going to get all like you're making an omelet. And you don't want your eggs to scramble like you're making a tortilla española here, because that's not what you're making. Or huevos rancheros americanos. You're not making that either. So keep whisking. Feel for that thickness, because the thickness tells you it's time to get it off the flame, or off the heat, or whatever kind of stove you've got. Whatever you do, don't scramble those eggs. This isn't the Denny's, you know what I'm saying? This isn't the 2-for-1 scramblers at Denny's. This is going to be helado. Hazy, hot, and humid helado. The 4 H's of meteorology in my book. They only do 3 in most TV and radio stations, but oh well, that's their problem. So keep that stirring till it gets thick. Once that thickness happens, you're going to pour it into a large, clean, different bowl. There you go. And guess what? We didn't have the scrambler special. Got it out just in time. Nice and thick and bubbly. That's what you wanted. Turn your fire off. Okay. Now to deal with the prunes. Alright. While that is cooling, which is going to let that mixture do, you're going to take your prunes that are nice and soft after having them boiled like we did earlier, and then they sat for a while. Like I said, you only need to see them for an hour. If they sit for more than an hour, it's fine. It's not going to kill them. But if they sit for just an hour, you're good to go. They're going to be nice and soft in this. Take it over to your sink with a strainer and drain them. You don't need all the extra yutso. Okay? Drain them right out. Get yourself a cutting board. And you're going to cut them even more fine than you did earlier. Get a serrated knife. And you can cut these babies nice and small. Nice and fine. Now, the thing about most ice cream makers is that it really will chop it the rest of the way. Most ice cream makers will chop the daylights out of stuff like this. Whether it be prunes, raisins. And what are prunes? You know, raisins are dried grapes. Prunes are dried plums. So get all those prunes nice and finely chopped while your custard deal over here is slightly cooling. Get another handful out. And you're going to find them so easy to chop because they've been softening up. Not the dried, tough stuff that you got out of your jar. The way they were when you first opened it up and started making this. Get the rest of them out of there. And is it any surprise that your next step with these babies is to add them right into that custard that's been slowly cooling off? You're going to do that. They go right in. Then you're going to stir them around with your whisk. Those whisk things are pretty handy if you ask me. Now another key ingredient here is heavy whipping cream. What's helado without cream in it, right? Well, of course there's sorbet, there's frozen yogurt, there's iced milk that you don't see as much anymore, there's garnitas. So there's a lot of things you can make without the cream. Sin crema. But this is helado, this is ice cream, so guess what? You're going to use cream in it. Now, I know earlier we used fat-free, half and half, kind of balance things down a little bit. But this is going to be regular whipping cream. Kind of give it back a little bit. So you get your carrot now, and you're going to put only 1 cup in there. Okay, get a cup measure. Sure, I got it open all the way before I get ahead of myself. I forgot I didn't open it. There you go, ready to go. Add that, and whisk it, and then guess what? So you got your heavy whipping cream in there. Whisk that in. And then you're going to add in a 1/4 cup of juice. And in this case, any kind of juice that you'd like. Or you can add a 1/4 cup of cognac. whatever you want to add a quarter cup of. Makes it even tastier. And in it goes. Gives it a little color. More than just the gray. This is all the sweet stuff that makes it taste like you're not just drinking a cupful of prune juice or eating a raw, regular dried prune. Like all the desserts I mentioned earlier. So guess what? Now you put it in the fridge and you let it sit and get nice and cold overnight, and tomorrow you mix it in the machine. Alright, so it is the next day, and we've got our cream out of the fridge, and I've got my ice cream maker ready to go with the barrel, the container that's going to spin it and everything, the blade that's going to churn it, and everything necessary. Rock salt, ice. Alright, so anyways, we're going to put the cream into, get the top off my container, put the cream in. And it's nice and thick. And nice and cold, too. After having sat in the fridge all night. Alright, so you put the container down into the barrel. Get it centered because there'll be a center place for it, for the stopper. Take the blade, put that down in the center of the container. So it's standing up in there. And then you take the top, and I gotta get this little cork out here. Pop that little baby out, because the cork is for when you store the ice cream later. There, cork is out, and you put that over the top. And that stays on while the motor's running. Kind of turn it so it's tightened and everything. And that will help spin the entire outfit. And I took a little spoonful, and, well, not a whole spoonful, just a little drop, and boy, does this taste sweet. So it's not the bitter taste of a prune that everybody thinks. Like I said, prune desserts are different than drinking some prune juice or etc., etc. They really are sweet. So anyways, take container, and I get the motor part out. And I'm going to put that over it, because there's a lock on in these things, okay? Every ice cream maker is different. This is one of those more heavy-dutier ones with the big bucket, compared to the smaller ones that are a little plastic and a little simpler. So whichever one's good for you is good. This was given to me for my birthday, and I've always loved it. So I use it wholeheartedly to find the ultimate ice cream. So we're going to put this lock down on here. There we go. And notice, am I spinning it? You can hear that little motor type thing? That shows that it's in place. Get it so it's in place. And it's in place. There we go. Bring her down. Lock her down. There we go. There you go. Now it's going to work. So you got to take ice and a balance of the rock salt to layer along the side of the container in the barrel. So you start the motor, and yeah, it sounds like a jet engine. Start putting ice in, right down. So get a good layer all around. So let those cubes fall wherever they fall down in there. Get them out of these ice cream trays. And I've got others on reserve too. layers all around. And the spinning will distribute the ice all around. So you get them on all sides. You fall on the floor, pick them up, don't worry about it, because you're not eating this stuff. And a couple of mine did. Put them down in there so they're even. You gotta watch out your ice cream maker though, because some cubes will be too big. So when you're making ice to put in your ice cream maker, use a little discretion in how much water you put in the trays so it doesn't get too thick of a cube. With this little mini one, I'm going to need some more cubes. So I got some bigger cubes here, bigger trays. There we go. Down in. Like I said, the container works them down as well. The spinning helps bring them to good size, even if they're a little large. Broken pieces, because you got to have a lot of reserved ice to do an ice cream. That's the kicker. You can't just do it on a couple trays full. Work them in. Then you take the third cup of the rock salt. Spew that all around. Gradually all around. I'll show you. Kind of gently distribute it. And that helps work the ice down. Helps pack it down a little more. And when you do, you add more ice. Over the top. So you get this layer built up along the side of the container as it's turning. A little too big. Sometimes I gotta really press them down in, but they go. Try to work all around. It's funny how sometimes some will go on one side, not the other. That's the almost crazy about it. This side. Layers down in there. Layered well down in, do another scoop of the rock salt. and add some more ice on top. So it's climbing well up the container. Every time you put rock salt in, you can hear that redistribution going on. There we go. Hammer a few more chunks here. There we go. Nice flat ones will cover a whole area. Make sure the hammering will cover everything. Beautiful. Some more. Excellent. One more pound, baby. Looking around to make sure there's any areas that need ice. Over on this side, I think. And then you just let that spin for a while, at least 40 minutes or so. Once you got that ice and the rock salt worked up the side of the can, let her go. Let it do its thing. Well, after a good close to an hour or so, it's time to take it out. So you unplug it. And this stuff is done. Bucket out. And the stuff's going to be wet on the bottom. A little water isn't going to kill you. Oh, look at that. Nice and creamy in there. I'll lift the blade out. Solid. A little creamier on the top. And solid down in. Which is the way an ice cream's going to come out when you make it like this. You need to go to a store when you can do this stuff right at home. I mean, yeah, store-bought stuff is awesome, don't get me wrong. And ice cream stands in the summer, the ones who open up just for the summertime, those are really awesome too. But sometimes it's great to make them on your own. Use those dairy products. Support your dairy farmers, folks. Use that milk and that cream. This is Prune Ice Cream, and it's looking good. And it is sweet too. We're tasting really good as well. And there's a yummy serving, if I should say so myself. Maybe I found the ultimate ice cream. You never know. Or maybe the quest is still going on. Okay. Rico. This is Migueltio, the Latino thing. Enjoy your summer. Make some summer things. Like ice cream. Or lemonade. Or something out on the grill that you can't make during the winter times, no matter where you live. You get those colder times, you don't feel like doing stuff like this. Enjoy the summer. And we'll see you next time.